cold tub done. Got cold brew. All right. It's time to grind. Hey, yo. Good morning. Yeah, good morning. Thanks, everybody, for checking out episode 2 of The Grind. I hope everyone's weekend starting off good, great, amazing. Got a lot to talk about. A lot of good stuff. I want to start it off always with the good news. Then you can take the bad news easier. No, there ain't no bad news on this show. I might complain a little bit, but I'll try to stay off the bad news. Once again, wrote some notes. Someone tagged me in a post last week about a card shop. I guess you can call it that. And I really couldn't believe how nice these people are, the givingness of them. And it all stems from a place that I think a lot of people can relate to, and I definitely can. And I think more and more people today are, I know I said this good news, but try not to make it too depressing. But, a lot of people out there these days are dealing with, a lot of mental health issues, depression. You've seen the statistics of suicide rates. There's just always bad news, on the radio on any YouTube show you watch. It's just out there, some people are struggling with substance abuse that they can't kick. And it's pretty hard when you think about it, if you're alone. And there's a lot of people that are by themselves out there, or maybe they're not by themselves, but they feel like they're by themselves, and they got nobody to talk to about the problems that they're having, or they're afraid to confront those issues. And that sucks, that sucks for a lot of people. That sucks for every single person involved. The mental health part, I've hit an extremely low point a long time ago in my life. I was dead broke, sleeping on a couch, eating loaves of bread, and I was there, man. I was close to doing stupid things, a lot of stupid things, and I got out of it not through cardboard. I got out of it just through opening up, reaching out to family. Had a lot of people that helped me. My wife helped me. And I'm trying to stay on topic. It's so crazy because it's bringing up so many crazy memories, making me slightly emotional here this morning. Didn't think I was going to get emotional. But this card shop in Southern Illinois, Benton, Illinois, they just do it the best way possible that they're able to. And, the quick down and dirty about this card shop, the owner, card shop, air quotes, I'm reading, so sorry if I'm not looking at y'all. Growing up, he sent this to me in a DM, so I don't think he minds me sharing. Growing up, I had experienced several different kinds of abuse, and sports and his local card shop were always a safe haven for him. His teenage years, he battled depression and PTSD, attempted suicide. With what he assumed to be my last act, he sold different stacks of his cards, and then purchased and donated canned goods to some local seniors. After an unsuccessful attempt, he got back in his truck, looked at the box he had of the cards, and got just back at it. since that time of, almost making a horrible decision, he's grown exponentially. Now they have a resource center at their shop where teachers, social workers, and foster families can come and shop for free for the items they need. He also provides furniture, beds, you name it. There's a video on Twitter. I will link it in my description on the YouTube show, so you can go check it out. For seniors, they provide a weekly meal delivery service. They do Christmas presents for assisted living facilities, free bike program, they give away cards for report cards, book reports, totaling in the millions now. So this news story should be on CNN, Fox, MSNBC, every news source out there. Fanatics, if you ever listen to this, Panini, you guys should reach out to this gentleman and his team and help them out. I don't really give a shit about the patches or whatever news you got coming out. This is 1 million times more important to help these kind of people. He also mentions, sorry, I went off on a little rant there. Poverty is pretty prevalent in his area. So the last of things we provide grows all the time. Everything we provide is 100% without cost to those we serve. Also, almost everything they sell comes from his personal collection, and they do accept donations. I'll also link that in the description below. They strive to provide a local card shop experience to kids in our community. It was something that was very important to him, and no one involved with this card shop receives any pay. That was the direct message minus the rant that I got, and I'm pulling up their card page right now. If you want to follow on Twitter, it's at Can Ministry, and they are a 501c3 charity located in Southern Illinois, using sports cards to fund our community projects. We try to be both kid-friendly and helpful to the community. I have no idea what religious, if there is any affiliation with them, but I don't care what it is. It's really, because they're doing... That's the best news I've heard in the hobby for a hot minute. And, to all the people that are out there, if you're alone, I will get it together here. If you're alone and need somebody, excuse me, you should always reach out for help. You should never be alone. And I know a lot of people deal with that. So, don't be alone. Reach out to your friends. You can DM me. I'll talk to you. Do not be afraid to talk to your family. Find good friends. Find people that listen to you. Don't find a yes man friend or a yes girl, yes person. They need to tell you like it is, and they need to be there for you when it counts. And to all the people out there, if you are struggling, I know there's plenty of hotlines you can call, plenty of people that are willing to help. And this card shop in Southern Illinois is definitely one that's doing it right. So sorry for being emotional on your start your weekend. Cheers. It's coffee. I'm not drinking it. Recording this at 8:45 on a Friday morning. So yeah, I came across that. They're going to be on the show. He's going to be on the show next week, I hope. I want to talk to him more in detail. I'll try not to cry. And yeah, it's so awesome to see. It's a great video to watch. Now my voice is cracking. I'm not even crying anymore. Such a wimp, Paulie. And yeah, if you watch the video on Twitter, if you just search them, it's pretty much the first post. It's one of the last posts they got up there under their pinned tweet. And I'm looking at it now. I mean, they have everything in this place. They have retail boxes. It looks like they have single cards, and then in the back they got school supplies. You name it, man. They got everything. Crayons. I'm looking at glue, Lysol stuff. Stuff to clean up, pencils, number 2s, folders. Yeah, everything. And that's not good news. That's the best. That's the best news for today. Now we're going to segue into some of the other stuff. Like I said, every week I'm going to give you the good news, and then I'm going to give you some of my opinions or thoughts on stuff that I've made mistakes on in the industry of the hobby. Like I said, I love it, and I think more people, I don't know if you can learn from me, but I know you can learn from mistakes. I try to learn from mistakes from others. I try to highlight my mistakes so that I know that, oh shit, I don't do that again, or try not to. Shame on, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me again. Whatever he said. So first thing I want to talk about is hype. Both things I'm talking about are 4-letter words. One's an acronym. But hype. You have to beware of the hype train. As much as it is exciting and it fuels this industry, I would say more than almost anything, especially right now. I don't know what it was like back. I mean, it wasn't like that back in the 90s. I don't think there was much hype. People were just more focused on the sports themselves as opposed to the monetary, attachment to that sports figure that they could be making. Maybe just because it wasn't that high, And, I say beware of the hype train because you don't need to be the first on the bus. Okay? It's okay to take a breath and look around, see the landscape, and then make your decisions. 2020, as cool as it was, and for some things, as cool as it was for sports cards, it wasn't that cool for a lot of other things, but it was awesome for sports cards. And but at the same, as awesome as it was in creating the hype and making it a more prevalent investment opportunity and fun part of people's lives, it also messed with people's heads. Even though I think people right now are getting much smarter in the space, there's still a massive learning curve and a lot to be learned. I learn all the time. I learn every day. I learn from friends in the hobby, customers. I've learned from my buddy Rip Heat that of different investment things. He's learned from me and my mistakes. Other friends have learned from me and my mistakes, and I just try to take all those things in. When it comes to the new releases, right? So we just had Prism Football come out. You have to be careful and of what you're really buying, right? Of the actual value. Yes, in the moment, the Brock Purdy rookie cards, base rookie cards, are going for $50. To me, that's crazy, right? And I'm not even talking about Prism. I mean, Mosaic, they were going for $40-$50. I bet you if you go back to the early sales, there's got to be some for $100. Those people were in the hype moment. And we're going to talk about hype's evil twin here shortly, but because it also plays a factor into hype. Or hype, I guess, feeds into that other factor. You need to take a breath before you click purchase wherever you're buying from, whether it's on eBay, Stack Sale, Discord, all the places I've always, said are great places to buy stuff, especially in stack sales. Yes, if the comp is $50 and the person is charging $50, by all means they can charge that, right? Because they might get it, and that's okay. That's the business. But you as a customer and a person that's looking at it as an investment, you need to take a breath and maybe take a look at, okay, what is Joe Burrow's cards doing? You can't go back in time to like Joe Montana, Dan Marino's cards, right? Because those aren't on the hype train anymore. But you can look pretty recent at the solid quarterbacks. Are Patrick Mahomes' base optic rookie cards still doing really well? Yes. He's also won 2 Super Bowls. Okay? Do not compare. You got to compare apples to apples. This apples to oranges business that's going on, you gotta take a breath and just think about it and go, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't buy this. Maybe I need to buy a numbered parallel. You could actually, if you're smart about it, you might be able to get that lower numbered parallel of a particular player that's not so number 1, number 2 on the hype train, but number 3 and 4, and you might have an opportunity to get a decent come up, or at least get a card that you might actually want that might be great for trade value. It might be in amazing condition. You get it graded, even better for trade value, or he has a great season, and you're able to flip that into something else. Those are all good ways of using the hype, right? And the hype will manifest its way in the industry through a ton of different avenues, especially with the power of social media, the power of seeing products being, all the breaks that we consume. I'm sure, some people probably don't watch them at all, but I do know that most people see the hits, whether it's on Instagram or it's on Twitter, wherever. Breakers like to show their hits, and 100% they should. I love seeing them. I said that last week. I enjoy watching them, but I can fight the hype, right? The hype pulls you in. I see more often, too often I see people that are, they love that gambling high. People love that ripping high. I love it. I love to hit a big card. Who the hell doesn't? Whether it's a huge PC card or it's just a big money card. It's a great feeling. And that's I think there's a lot of hype that's driven into that. The breaks. You see all these massive hits getting pulled, right? Why can't that be me? I need to invest more into these breaks. Nothing wrong with investing into a break. You got to do it smartly. It's like having a credit card and swiping it until you're now paying ridiculous amounts of interest. And while you did make come ups in that window of what you bought or what you broke into, if you haven't paid that credit card bill, you are taking an L every month. Might be a small L, but small L's can consume an elephant really quick. Okay? It can build pressure. It can make you make those poor decisions. And you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know your finances. So be careful with the hype. Like I said, I think it's 100% needed. I enjoy it. It's just you gotta be smart enough to do the homework before you lose your ass on the hype. Now, hype has an evil twin. Hype, the bigger topic I want to talk about. Hype gives energy, heavy energy, to our friend FOMO. For those of you who don't know what FOMO means, fear of missing out. I think the first time I heard FOMO, I had to Google it because I was like, FOMO? What the fuck is that? FOMO. And man, I have dealt with it. I think everybody has dealt with it at one time or another. Sorry, I had to do a coffee drink. It'll get you. It will get you, and when you're not even noticing you're doing it. It's something that I think in the hobby happens like crazy. I thought it used to happen with sneakers when they were a little cheaper, I think. Now they're, 200 plus. So people are really weighing those decisions. What's crazy about the hobby, and which makes it so enticing, is that the barrier to entry is super low. Like, you can go and buy, if you got $40, you can go buy a box of cards today. And guess what? You are now in the hobby. You have purchased your box of cards. You've opened it. You might have shit, or you might have some amazing cards, right? We know the latter is rare. But FOMO, fear of missing out, FOMO, just to let you know, newsflash to anyone out there that's dealing with FOMO. You cannot make every deal. You can't get every steal. You can't go to every card show. You can't capitalize on every single investment. This is why you have to fight it. You have to put that in your head like, okay, I can't make every deal. I can't buy every lot. Oh, I missed out on that. Let me get on eBay real quick and let me see how I can, get in there, right? Perfect example. Excuse me. Anthony Volpe just got called up, right? And I have some of his cards. I've traded for some of his cards. But if you're buying him the day he's called up, it is too late. Okay? While those cards still might have, let's say he becomes Derek Jeter. Sure, if you bought right now and you're able to, okay, I got it. But if you're buying and you think you're going to flip that around in a week for something that's going to be substantial for you, I don't know what that equates to. I don't think it's really going to be worth your time. That's just my opinion. And that's FOMO, though. It just like hype, it fuels the buying, because people are just missing out. And it causes that stress, and it's okay to walk away. It's okay to miss a deal. It's okay to walk away from a deal, whether it's in a chat or at a card show. If you are forcing yourself to make, there's a few investors out there that always bring this up. If you're forcing yourself to make the deal, it's not the right deal. If it's causing you to you're analytically going through and you're spending hours of energy on this little thing, this deal, no matter how big it is, unless it's, we're talking in the thousands, then yeah, obviously deep homework. But if they're really stuck in their way and you're just trying to get it there, and you need to spend that $1,000 you have to make $1, people, I don't think that's take it for what it is. I don't think that's good investing. Why would you want to be out money to make $1? You can make $1 doing a lot of things. I don't think that's a fun way to do it. Just for emotional and energy, just what you're bleeding out of your system. And even if you feel the pressure that you're completely out of inventory for the next show, or for me, next stack sale, you're light on inventory, light on new inventory. Hey, shit happens. But would you rather be light on inventory or just have a bunch of shit that no one wants because you forced yourself to make this deal? I've done it. I have done it. I have felt like everyone I was seeing had lots of great inventory, and I was just, I just need to make it. I have learned to walk away. My wife brought it up when I first started the business. She said, literally said that to me. She's like, you don't need to buy every single deal you see out there. Just because you have the money doesn't mean you have to go buy it. Because guess what? Sometimes you might pass on that deal. Then another deal will come along and it'll be amazing. Now, part 2 to this little deal-making FOMO issue. If the deal is absolutely insane, right? Where you're making some sort of amazing trade, or you are buying a lot at 20% comps of great cards. Oh, hello. Okay. Don't walk on those ones, right? But like I said, if you're just, you feel yourself standing at that table or in that text message or DM, and you're like, yeah, man, but I want to be right here. And they're like, well, no, I'm going to be right here. And that's it. Oh, all right. Well, will you take $10 off? Now, if this is like one PC card for you, sure, got it. But I'm talking about people that are garnering inventory, they're doing the investment side of things. FOMO is going to get you if you're forcing it. FOMO is also going to get you. I mentioned it. I touched on it briefly. Was taking energy from you, making those rushed decisions just to get something going. Just like the hype. Take a second. Say, am I really missing out? And yes, you are going to miss out on deals. If you saw every day, every deal that people were getting, you would lose your mind. You would go crazy. I think I would. And I just block it out. And when someone gets a good deal that I don't get, I applaud them for it and say, right on. Makes me work harder. And I know that, hey, keep your eyes open. Keep looking. You never know what's going to come your way. A funny story about FOMO. I've mentioned before that I go to the Dallas Card Show all the time and stay the whole weekend, and the deals are great. Vendors there are, I would say 90% amazing. There's always the 10% that we talked about last week. Losers. I usually go, and my wife's like, well, you can't go this time. We're going on a cruise. Sweet. Okay. Family time. Amazing. Always important, especially when you're working all the time. And my buddy goes to the Dallas Card Show with me usually. And while I'm on the cruise, my buddy messaged me. He's like, hey, I got a killer deal on this lot. It's amazing. And it was phenomenal, right? And in my head, my brain, evil stepchild here, the devil, is saying, you should have went. And the words came out of my mouth even. I was like, see, I should have went to the show. And I'm like, am I, if you got kids watching, sorry, am I just a complete asshole or just 50%? I'm on a cruise ship, a Disney cruise, mind you, having the time of my life with my family, my wife, my daughter. And I'm sitting there thinking about the deal that I missed at this card show. I'm a complete moron, evidently. But that's FOMO. That's FOMO in a nutshell. Just getting after you, trying to, and what did I do? I took a deep breath and I was like, yep, gonna miss him. I only know about it because he told me, right? If I never would have known, if I didn't know that person, I would have never known. So you got to look at it like, all right, well, missed one. More will come, right? So fight that FOMO. Fight that first week FOMO, okay? When they're breaking, cases of Prism for thousands of dollars. Do you know that the chances of you hitting the black finite of a shitty rookie class, it's not worth your time. It's worth your time for the fun, okay? I enjoy joining breaks. I'll never spend crazy money. That stresses me out too much. But you got to fight the FOMO a little bit. Fight the hype. Sit back. especially, not so much joining breaks, I don't think, but it's the singles market where it can really get you, I think, where you're trying to, whether you're prospecting on a certain individual, whatever sport it is in, you got to do it in advance. You have to do your homework. This isn't like a spur of the moment, I'm going to buy this and it's going to be worth 10 times in 6 months. Definitely, most likely not. Can't say definitely not. So just a few things. It's a, quicker episode today. You got to fight the hype and fight the FOMO as much as you can. When you're looking at singles, whether it's in a stack sale, whether it's on eBay, Discord, or wherever, take a second, look at what the comps are. Don't be afraid to throw your offer out there. Never be afraid to throw your offer out there. Don't really care what it is unless you're 100% disrespectful. Then, okay, I just chuckle at that stuff, as everyone should. Don't get so serious. Oh, how dare you offer me this? Like, relax, bro. Take it easy, man. I didn't offer you $10 on your Ferrari. Look at what those comps are, especially for those early week releases, and wait. I know some people that don't even sell them. They refuse to sell those first week drops, and they wait, and then the product will go. It'll drop right down. You'll see it all the time. You see it especially. Oh, I almost forgot. You 100% see it in the big case hits, Kabooms, Color Blast. They hold their value, but at peak week when they first come out, they're insane. Downtowns, they're nuts. If you just go back, pick a person, especially of this last release of Prism, and look at what Color Blasts are going for, and then look in a month. There will be nowhere near what the first couple ones sold for. So you have to be careful, right? And if you do pull it first week, yeah, you can capitalize on that hype and FOMO. And nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with it. You just as the buyer, I don't get mad at the seller for doing that. I get more frustrated in the buyer. You as a buyer, me as a buyer, have to take a second and go, yep, yeah, I'm taking a second on that. Why is this 7th year Kaboom $6,000 first week it comes out, but the one last year is doing about $1,000 to $1,500? Yeah, I'll wait. I'll wait till it comes back down because that's the one I really want, and that's the one I'm going to get. So, before I let everybody go, please go and check out, let me get you his Twitter again. Cans, CANSCANMINISTRY. Cans Can Ministry. Greg Poole, his name is on his page. Please go give them a follow. Check them out. If you got something to donate. It seems like an amazing cause. He will be hopefully on the show next week. And if you're in Southern Illinois, stop by. Maybe drop some stuff off. And, give him a shout out. Retweet, post, whatever you got to do. Spread the word. To Fanatics and Michael Rubin when you're listening to this. Panini, I have no idea who runs your company. Robots. And maybe hype up these kind of places a little bit more. The hobby needs that. Just as much as we need local card shops. Hype. Give them some hype. Give them some love. Okay? I know you're probably not going to listen to this, but maybe spread the word. You know what I'm saying? And lastly, I'll leave you with this. Practice patience. Be weary of the hype. And always fight the FOMO. All right? Everyone have a great weekend. Once again, follow Tasty Brains Podcast on YouTube, Instagram. Give me a follow on Twitter at Paulie Donuts. I run monthly stack sales on there. And this show will be dropping every Friday, the best that I can do it. Next Friday will be a little different because I'll have the guest on. Like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right? Like I said, have a blessed weekend. Peace.